Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. All right, hello everybody. Let's go ahead and open up that waiting room. Let people in, as yes, this is a live Zoom with a live audience here on Daily with Doc. Now, if you'd like to join us, it is zoom.dailywithdoc.com. And that will take you right to our Zoom room. But you want to do it Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, because that's when we're actually here. If you want to see us around the clock, that's absolutely possible on all of the different platforms that we are on. We are for just the major ones that, come to my mind. We've got YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Spotify, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon TV, Amazon Music, Apple Music. We have podcasts, something. I have my cheat sheet and it's not here right now. But folks, we are meeting people where they're at. And we love the fact that this past weekend we did a Daily with Doc and Becca marathon thanks to Mr. AJ. And that included several of the pharmacists, Ben Bites and AJ. So hope you can check that out, as I do believe it might still be available. If you just want to click on it, let it roll, you'll be able to be fed information that is empowering to help you as an individual figure out what is needed to help create a better health journey. So folks, if you are invited by somebody specific, you want to make sure that you get back with them. This is a resource for an amazing community. We want to make sure that we maintain that integrity and have them be your first major and preferably only point of contact when it comes to information to help you on your health journey. So if you do have questions, you can send those questions in to questions@dailywithdoc.com. Let us know if you're a distributor, if you're working with the distributor, who we can thank for sharing our program with you. My name is Becca Dukes. As the hostess of this program and also the director of students Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health. It is my honor and privilege to present, especially today's speaker. I can't say especially today's speaker because my head mentor, he's on listening, and he's the reason why I'm able to be here today, physically, emotionally, mentally. But somebody else that has played into that is the next gentleman that we are going to be, or the gentleman that we have today on our Daily with Doc, as we're talking about things that we can put into our body to feed us. But it's more than just food, folks. So today I am excited to have with us Paul Kroto. He has a master's of science, or a master's degree in nutrition. He is a coach. He's a mentor. He hates seeing people not reach their full potential in life. And for the past over 25 years, he has helped thousands of people drastically improve in all 8 areas of life, folks. He has created a program that'll guide us through the process of living the life we really want. And with his master's degree in nutrition, decades dedicated to not only his own self-development, but certified as a John Maxwell trainer and one of the top 100 certified trainers with Tony Robbins, he is taking his love for nutrition and passion to see others thrive. And he has also become one of the founding co-fathers of the Institute of Holistic Health. Now, today, he is going to be guiding us as we start our journey towards becoming the hero of our perfect story with what we're calling the 30-30-30 breakthrough. That's what I'm calling it, as I have been doing 2 parts of that 30 and started on the 3rd part on a consistent basis this morning on the 3rd part of the 30. It is my honor and privilege to bring to the screen with me Paul Kroto. Paul, let me find you. Where did you go?
I'm here. I promise.
There you are. There. All right, folks. This is Paul Kroto. So he is a mentor. He's my friend. He's my boss. he has done so much in setting an example of what we as individuals can do when we make the decision to do it. So, Paul, welcome to Daily with Doc once again. So excited to have you here, as we're going to be helping people ignite their wellness journey with this 30-30-30 breakthrough. I don't know what you call it, but let's go for it and share with them what it is.
Well, Becca, you know, my passion, along with Dr. Wallach's passion and your passion, is to help people solve problems. And the biggest, well, one of the biggest, because we got a lot of them out there, obviously. But recently I saw an updated study that said that 74% of Americans are either overweight or obese. That just strikes me as an enormous number. Like, wow, like that's a huge, huge problem. And, you know, I know this is, so just a little bit about my background. I know Becca filled you in with a whole bio there that was absolutely fantastic. But I do want to say that I'm someone that has struggled with their weight their whole life. I'm not born with that unbelievable body. And, you know, I was, you know, we all have tendencies where I could put on weight extremely fast. Like I remember being in high school, being 180 and going to 280, like almost it seemed overnight. Like I don't even know how it happened. I was in the Marines. I was in super great shape. And then this switch, you know, goes off when you're in your, you know, upper 20s, 30s, and it gets worse in your 40s. And now I'm in my, you know, and then I think a lot, meaning a lot of people now, you know, because I turned 50 and I know I'm meeting a lot of people who are coming out saying, I just turned 52. And it seems like some kind of switch goes off, like where now's the time, you know, like we've been putting it off, and either, you know, something needs to be done now. So that was kind of like how my story went. Even though I knew a ton of information, it's one thing's knowing it, one thing is doing it, and then having the right information. So, you know, there's been a ton of trial and error. I mean, if you go out there and look at weight loss books or go on YouTube or any place on the internet and type in, how do you lose weight? You read 100 articles, you'll get 100 different opinions. So what my goal is and what your goal is, what Dr. Wallach's goal is, has been all along, is to tell people the truth, get to the truth, what's going on inside of us. How do we really lose weight? You know, and there's all these Ozempic out there and weight loss pills and that and surgery and, you know, and what's the truth? How do we really, you know, get to a place where we can not only be healthy, but look healthy as well? Because I believe both are important. You know, oh, I'm, you know, 100 pounds overweight and I'm healthy. I don't buy into that philosophy. I think, you know, you do have to be at a good body fat percentage. You want to put all this stress on your heart. We know heart disease is the #1 killer still. And I can point to tons and tons of research that shows being overweight, or even, you know, being obese, even being overweight, is a problem, is a definite health problem that we all need to solve. And, you know, learning from Dr. Wallach, the first thing that he says, and I love that there's a documentary about him out there. If you guys haven't had a chance to see it yet, it's called The Audacity of Health. And he opens up and talks about that people are counting calories. And don't get me wrong, you can't eat all the food you want in the world and lose weight. That's never going to happen. But people are so caught up in counting calories where they should be caught up in counting nutrients. How many nutrients am I taking in? And what our bodies are doing all day long is doing this scan. So that we know, we've been preaching on this show, and that there's 90 essential nutrients. We have to have 90 nutrients every day. There's specific 90 that our bodies cannot make. So it needs to get it from some outside source. So what I was doing was I would go out. This is before I met Dr. Wallach and knew what I was doing when I was younger. You know, I was hungry, so I'd go get a Big Mac, let's just say, at Burger King. And I would eat it, the fries and the shake, be like 1,600 calories, some obscure number, you know, for a meal at McDonald's or Burger King. And what would happen was, you know, an hour or two later, I'd be hungry again. Now, how could that possibly be? I just ate a ton of food, but there was no nutrients in it. And because I wasn't getting any nutrients, my body was doing the scan. It was saying, is there enough vitamin A? Is there enough vitamin B? Is there enough vitamin C? It would go through every single one of the 90 nutrients. And the answer was no, there's not enough of these nutrients. So your body's going to send the signal saying, go eat something. So sure enough, I'd go eat something. And, you know, even as I got my degree in nutrition and wanted to get to the truth and start following Dr. Wallach, it wasn't until I started following Dr. Wallach that I realized that even as I started eating healthier, I gave up the McDonald's and the Burger King and all that other garbage and started eating healthy. Well, what I thought was healthy, because I bought the $600 Vitamix. I bought all the organic vegetables and fruits and things from the supermarket because I thought that was the right thing to do. Now I'm going to get my body good food. And that didn't work either. From switching from the bad McDonald's stuff and that to eating good, where I'm making up green shakes that are disgusting in the blender, I gained another 35 pounds because there's no nutrients in any of the foods we're eating. I don't even care if you go to the supermarket and buy organic. Organic doesn't mean anything. It just means that there's less pesticides on it. Doesn't mean there's any nutrients in it. So we waste all this time and money eating these fruits and vegetables that we think are good for us, but they're not, because they're not grown in soil that has the nutrients that we need. Once Dr. Wallach got me on the 90 essential nutrients, and he told me about this healthy body pack, I started taking it. Literally within a week or two, my hunger was cut in half. I wasn't hungry at all anymore. I shouldn't say at all, but it literally cut in half because my body was doing the scan now and saying, oh, I have enough vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way through all 90. And my body was happy. It was getting what it needed. Give your body what it needs and it will do amazing things. So that was the biggest change in my weight loss journey, was when I started giving my body the nutrients that it needs. So if you're struggling with losing weight, that's absolutely my first piece of advice to you, is to get enough nutrients in your body. Now, let's jump into the 30-30-30 breakthrough. So we're going to go through kind of a day, and there's a bunch of pieces to losing weight. If I could get on here right now and just say, just do this, just do the 90 essential nutrients. Great. I mean, that would be wonderful. We could end this and we could all be thin and look amazing. That's not exactly how it works, but it's a huge piece. It's at least 50% of the battle is getting these 90 essential nutrients. And now we talk a lot about the 90 essential nutrients, and Dr. Wallach is the mineral doctor. So we're big on minerals. Those will make a huge difference. Getting the vitamins in makes a huge difference. On this show, I know you guys talk a lot about essential fatty acids, how important those are. What I don't think gets enough love are these 12 things called amino acids, which are, again, part of the 90 essential nutrients. Becca, it says you have your hand raised. Is that a question?
I do, because before you jumped completely into this, I just wanted to share, when I first started on Dr. Wallach's protocol, in the first 3 months, I lost 20 pounds and I wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
And it just justifies what you were just saying, that when you give your body what it needs, those cravings, they diminish.
They do.
And
they
let's
do.
go. It takes you out of that starvation mode and says, okay, it's okay for me to release and let go of this extra weight.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So
it
sorry
really
for
is. It
interrupting.
really is.
Continue.
And again, that's the starting point. Like that will get you halfway there. But I'll just being honest with you. I come on the show to speak the truth. I'm all about the truth. And one of the things that I learned from Dr. Wallach was a good food, bad food list. And he said, Paul, you got to get off gluten. You got to get off gluten. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go off gluten. And I went to the supermarket and I'm like, there's an actual aisle of gluten-free foods. So I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I'm going to try all of these things and I'm going to be gluten-free, which there's arguments about how much that's actually gluten-free and how much it's not. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that it was all gluten-free. You just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean you're going to lose weight on it. Okay, I actually gained weight going gluten-free because of the amount of carbohydrates involved in these gluten-free foods. And not only the carbohydrates, but more importantly, is the glycemic index behind them. So they would use other things besides gluten to make it taste good, and which increases the amount of the speed, I should say, of which carbohydrates enter your body. Now, of course, we talk about a product called Sweeties, which helps control blood sugar levels. It does an amazing thing. Without chromium, vanadium, we will not be able to process carbohydrates properly at all. So those are two of the essential nutrients that control blood sugar levels. But just because you're taking enough chromium, vanadium doesn't give you a free ticket to eat as many carbs as you want, because it's still wreaking havoc on your blood sugar system. And we all know that there's over 100 million people right now who are diabetics or pre-diabetic that are struggling with this. So eventually we have to, take control of how many carbohydrates we're eating. And that's part of this 30-30-30 program. So let's get down to what the real program is about here. So it's about getting up in the morning. I'm going to start with that, kind of digress afterwards. But when I first wake up in the morning, so it's within 30 minutes of waking up. So that's the first 30. You have to have 30 grams of protein and walk for 30 minutes. So it's 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking with a 30-minute walk. That has transformed the way I look. I've literally got in the single-digit body fat percentage now from that big switch. Now, with that, I'm taking my rise. So what the actual products that I'm using in the morning, I wake up and I immediately take this drink that I make up. It's in a water bottle. And now AminoCharge has an abundance of these 12 amino acids that I was talking about earlier. And it just gives your body those essential nutrients that we need. And we tell people, like, throughout the day, if you start feeling tired, take an extra shot of minerals. And minerals, again, are 60 of the 90. So they're 2/3 of the 90 essential nutrients, which work amazingly. But what I've been doing, the big change in what I'm doing is not only the shot of minerals and getting the extra minerals in, which has made a huge difference, but the real piece is getting way more amino acids. Those are the nutrients, those 12 essential nutrients, those 12 essential amino acids are essential nutrients, but have made the biggest difference in my body and my physique. And every single client that I'm working with that now really focuses on the 90, getting more of the 60 minerals in, getting more of the 12 vitamins in, or I'm sorry, the 16 vitamins, which are now divided between the AM and PM dosing with our Rise and Restore, and really, really dosing heavily on the 12 amino acids. And of course, we've been pushing the essential fatty acids forever. People are not taking enough of those at all. So I always push people to take more and more of that. But as far as weight loss goes, the big key is to focus on 60 minerals, the 16 vitamins, and really on the 12 amino acids, getting more of that in. So I'm not just drinking the AminoCharge when I first wake up, but I'm drinking it throughout the day because I want to constantly give my body more and more amino acids. The amino acids are the building block of muscle tissue. Now, that may not sound important to you, but I promise you that the biggest thing going on now with all these people trying to take Ozempic and these other weight loss things is they're turning into skinny fat people. And what I mean by that is the scale is going down. It really is. However, it's all muscle weight that they're losing. And when they just look horrible, first of all, they are losing. Muscle is your metabolism. So think of the two M's together. Muscle is your metabolism. The more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is. So a lot of people say, well, it's so easy for guys to lose weight. The reason why typically it is easier for guys to lose weight than women is because they have more muscle mass. That's it. It's not because we have some genetic makeup or something magical inside of us that helps us lose weight more. It's typically that men have more muscle mass, and muscle mass makes you burn more calories and will obviously help you burn fat faster or lose fat faster. So you don't want to lose your best friend, which is muscle, because that is your metabolism. If you lose muscle, you're losing metabolism and you're burning less and less calories. So, yes, people lose weight in the beginning, but then all of a sudden it stops. And they're like, well, what happened? How come I stopped losing weight? Well, it's because they lost so much muscle during the whole thing that they have no metabolism anymore. And they're not burning calories at the rate that they used to. So rule number one is to protect the muscle. And that is done by the amino acids. Plus, through all the wear and tear and things we do, we want to, again, amino acids build, maintain, and repair muscle tissue. And muscle tissue is constantly under, attack. We're doing different things all day. We're, doing activity all day long. We're working out. We want to keep that muscle. And the only way to do that is to have more amino acids in our bodies. One of the first things that Dr. Wallach told me about when I first met him also was this little thing called HGH capsules that we have. It's part of our sleep system. And he told me that every night before he goes to bed, he takes 6 of these. So I'm like, listen, if he looks this good at that age, then I'm doing whatever he's doing because he looks and has the best health ever. So I started taking these 6 HGH capsules every single night. And I've been doing that for 14 years. And I can tell you, honestly, that every single morning when I wake up, I feel amazing now from taking that. And what are the HGH capsules? Take a guess. The 12 amino acids in a capsule. So you can take these amino acids before you go to bed, and not only will it help you sleep better, but it'll help your body naturally produce this stuff called HGH, human growth hormone. And human growth hormone is the ultimate bottle of youth. Not only will it make you feel younger, it'll help you look younger, and it helps literally burn off body fat. If there's a magic pill ever to be created for losing weight, it would be some kind of pill that would increase your human growth hormone levels, which is what this does. So we've always had that piece of the puzzle in place where I was taking the amino acids before I went to bed, which is great. And I've always slept phenomenal. I've always woke up with a ton of energy. But now, before I go to bed, I'm also doing this thing called Restore, which is the second half of the Rise and Restore package. So as Becca hold up those 2 products there. Yes, I'm doing a scoop of Rise every morning with a scoop of AminoCharge. That is my morning routine within 30 minutes of waking up, and I immediately walk for 30 minutes. So we want to walk before we eat any real food. Okay, so this is one of the things that has definitely been proven. This isn't some like hypothetical thing that I'm talking about here. Everything I'm speaking about is now in that proven stage where this has worked for a lot of people over a long period of time and isn't some fad. So intermittent fasting really, really works. Not only does it work tremendously for weight loss, but for longevity. And longevity is huge, huge, huge behind intermittent fasting. So by doing this, I'm able, by using the AminoCharge, I'm able to, and in fasting, there's all kinds of different fasts. I mean, you could fast from being online on the internet. You could fast from, you know, all types of things. There's food fasts where people stop fasting from insulin, where anything that would produce insulin in our bodies, which would be carbohydrates. So taking the AminoCharge and the rise, and what I love about the rise is that there's no carbs in it, or there's like 1 gram, which will have zero effect on your blood sugar levels or breaking a fast. The same thing goes for the AminoCharge. Here's a product that is just amino acids. It's not going to break a fast. So now I'm able to take that and actually take it again around 9. Yes, Becca.
So we do have a question in regards to this specifically.
Yep.
So when you're taking the rise and the AminoCharge, isn't that breaking your fast?
So again, it depends what kind of fast you're taking. The fast that we're focused on for losing weight is a fast from insulin. So we're keeping insulin out of our system 100%. Now, you know, if you talk about doing a food fast, like for religious reasons, or just because you think, I don't know, I want to not eat any food ever. I don't particularly subscribe to food fasts per se. But here's something called, it's just amino acids. It's not like we're eating a steak or a chicken breast or something like that. It isn't any kind of protein. It's special protein that's in this AminoCharge that is strictly amino acids. So this product is specifically made for people who are fasting. Now, other protein, like, well, Paul, I'll just have any protein powder. Other protein powders will break a fast because there's more to them than just the amino acids. They specifically make it to be like a meal replacement type of shape, where it does more for you than just providing the amino acids. But this is specifically made for people who are fasting to lose weight and just want to get the essential nutrients in our bodies. So like the plant-derived minerals will not break a fast. The rise will not break a fast because there's only 1 gram of carbohydrates in the whole thing. So it's just not enough to break the fast. Hopefully that answered your question. So does most things do break a fast? Like to find something that doesn't is very difficult. But the rise and the AminoCharge are 2 products specifically made to not break a fast. So that's why I mentioned these 2. So I'm doing that. I'm doing my 30-minute walk, which is a huge change for me. Now, in fact, I'm not sure if you mentioned this or not, but I was in the Marines for 4 years. I'm big into working out. Like, so I also am a certified strength and conditioning specialist. It's one of my certifications, and I'm huge into exercise. Like I'm just like exercise freak my whole life. One of the big things I do is that Peloton bike. So like there'll be like 10,000 people in a class, and I'd be riding as hard as I can, you know, ready to die. Like I'm very competitive. So I'd be going all out, you know, and I'm thinking I'm doing all this for my heart, and my VO2 max is so good, and I'm like in this phenomenal cardiovascular shape. And it turns out that with all the research that's come out over the past few years, is that there's huge downside to these people who do this intense exercise. And what's the other side of the coin? Like, what's the harm that's being done? And really what it comes down to when it comes to losing weight and being healthy is what hormones are being released. So again, the ultimate hormone in the world to have released from your body is human growth hormone. And that's what amino acids do. So it's taking the HGH capsules before night, which are just amino acids. There's nothing illegal in there. There's no kind of drug in there. It's just amino acids. The AminoCharge just amino acids, but these amino acids will help your body produce more insulin. More growth hormone, which makes your growth hormone levels go up. And what happens when growth hormone levels go up is insulin levels plummet. So the two hormones work opposite each other. If you eat a lot of carbs, let's say you drink a glass of orange juice. A glass of orange juice makes insulin go way up and growth hormone go way down. So they work like this, but you can never get them both high. Okay, so one's up, one's down. If you drink a glass of orange juice, your insulin levels are going to be super high, which prevents growth hormone from going up. Not only is insulin level super high, insulin is a hormone in your body that's a storage hormone. So it takes things from your blood system, and stores them into the fat cells. At the same time, it will not let anything leave the fat cells. It puts a block on them so nothing can leave. So only things can go in. That's what insulin is. It's a transport hormone that transports carbohydrates from the blood system into the fat cells. So people used to think, well, I don't eat any fat. How could I be fat? Fat has nothing to do with this. Being fat and eating fat, we need to come up with new words, because they shouldn't even have the same word attached to them, because they're so opposite of each other. Eating fat does not make you fat. As a matter of fact, if you were to, I know people who will eat high fat diets and have lost a ton of fat. It's one of the tricks for people to do is to increase fat, to lose fat. The keto diet was a great example of that people follow that, and it's increasing dietary fat in your body. Of course, it's healthy fat, but you lose weight on it, which is completely contradicting to what you think would be the case, that fat makes you fat. It doesn't. Sugar makes you fat, and sugar is, they say it's the worst drug in the world. I mean, people want to compare it to cocaine. I'm not sure I'm willing to go to that level, but it's close. That's how bad this stuff is. And there's some ridiculous number, like the average American eats or consumes 58 pounds of sugar a year, some crazy high number. And the havoc that this sugar does is having on our bodies. And I just don't mean straight sugar. I mean any kind of carbohydrate is considered a sugar, because eventually every carbohydrate breaks down to glucose, which is a sugar. The havoc that this is having on our bodies is just horrific. The amount of inflammation that carbohydrates causes, the hormone effects that it has. So again, good hormone, growth hormone. Bad hormones are considered insulin and this stuff called cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. And when we're exercising at this high rate and doing these high intensity exercises, we're producing cortisol, which is actually doing more harm to our bodies than good. That's why they're finding walking is the ultimate exercise. So for a guy who's super competitive and wants to go all out all the time, for me to switch to walking seemed like, this isn't a good idea. But that's what the research showed. So I started doing it. And that's when the weight fell off of me. I don't even remember back in high school being, well, I guess I was. I guess in high school I was below 10% body fat. But since then, I'm over 50 now. And I'm below 10% body fat for the first time since high school. Even when I was in the Marines, I don't know if I got to 10% body fat. But it's just been walking. And I count my steps every day. I get to 10,000 steps. I bought a walking pad. So I'm actually standing right now by my desk. I'm not walking. Becca told me I have to stay still as possible for this presentation. But normally I'm on Zoom all day long, working with people, and I'm walking all day. So I'm always getting steps in. And it's very low intensity. I'm not walking any kind of fast pace even. I'm just walking, getting the steps in. So just making those lifestyle decisions of parking a little bit further in the parking lot. Don't park next to the door. You can take the stairs or the elevator, take the stairs. Do things that will get more steps in. And a lot of us are spending a ton of time indoors, working and being online and stuff. And, to get outside and to walk. I've taken up golf this past year. So I walked 18 holes, so I'm always out there walking. And that's what's got my body fat down. So what I'm doing is I'm getting my body all the nutrients it needs first thing in the morning. taking my rise. I'm taking my AminoCharge, which is getting some more of the essential nutrients in my body, which are those 12 amino acids. Throughout the day, I'm taking more of that AminoCharge, so that I don't actually eat any solid food until noon. So I'll do another scoop of AminoCharge around 9 a.m. because I get up at 5. I'm taking a scoop of rise and a scoop of the AminoCharge at 5. Plus, I'm drinking, I'll have a 25-ounce water bottle that I mix this in. And that's getting the hydration into my body. And one of the great things about rise, and there's lots of great things. So all the nutrients in rise, and we kind of had it. I'm not saying we had it wrong all along. We knew that there was 90 essential nutrients, but there's specific nutrients that our bodies need in the morning to give us energy and focus. And then there's other nutrients of the 90 that we need in the evening to give us the recovery. So at 5 p.m., I start putting my body into recovery mode. Okay. I've done this exercise in the morning. I've done things throughout the day. I have to now start thinking about tomorrow. So at 5 p.m. every day, I drink my Restore. So 1 scoop of Restore in water. I'm drinking got more water coming in, more hydration coming in, giving my body a second dose of nutrients. And really, for most of these 90 essential nutrients, they're out of your system in 12 hours. So taking some every 12 hours just makes sense. I was always, I guess, kind of blessed because I was a male. I was 200 pounds, and Dr. Wallach told me to take 2 healthy body packs. So I would take 1 dose of my 90 in the morning and 1 in the evening. So I was kind of always taking the 2 doses of 90 anyways. But anybody else out there that's only taking the 90 essential nutrients once a day, the question is, well, how long did it last in your system for? I don't think it lasted 24 hours. I know it didn't. Yet we're only doing it once every 24 hours. So splitting it up now, and even if you're doing BTT, I'm like rethinking the whole thing and having clients now who still love the BTT or have some in their possession still, and they love it, they're using it, to split that up, to take half of it in the morning, and I think it was 2 scoops, and you take per day anyway. So you take a scoop in the morning and a scoop at night. You're breaking up those nutrients so your body always has the nutrients it needs throughout the day to stay healthy and have your body working at optimal levels. And I encourage you to start thinking of your body as a bunch of cells. Okay, there's trillions of cells in your body. When you look at each individual cell, that in each individual cell needs nutrients to do what it's supposed to do. Whatever that cell is meant to do, whatever God designed that cell to do in your body, it needs nutrients to do that. And if you're going an extended period of time without giving that cell the nutrients it needs to function the way it was supposed to function, it can't function like it's supposed to. It just shuts down. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. And everything in your body that God created is all working in harmony. They're all working together. Everything's happening. Your heart's beating. So blood's flowing. This is getting repaired. This is doing that. This is doing this. It's all so incredible when you think about it. But that each one of these cells has this different job it's supposed to do, but it can't do its job without the nutrients it needs. So you got to first and foremost get those nutrients in your body. And I love the idea of breaking it up, using the Rise and Restore to break up the AM, PM, constantly getting those nutrients in your body. And now that we're putting in, we always were talking about, hey, take some extra minerals. Hey, take some extra fatty acids. We're pushing more and more essential fatty acids on people, which has worked great. It's helped for brain function. It's helped for inflammation, help for your skin, for your heart, for dozens of things. But we have not put enough emphasis on the 12 essential amino acids. And that's, if I could drive anything home in this show today, it's that. Buy a canister of that AminoCharge that Becca has there. And I promise you, you're going to feel your whole life change. It's another piece to the puzzle. We're now, yes, taking the extra, I've been doing the extra shot of minerals for 30 some years, and it makes a huge difference. What I'm encouraging you to do now is do an extra shot of amino acids throughout the day and see how your weight changes. That is the key to weight loss right there, is getting more amino acids into your system. That's the other part of the 50%. Remember I said extra nutrients were 50% of the battle? Well, they just, the BTT, the AM, PM, the rise and restore do not have enough amino acids in them. You need more. That's why this product came about. And I love it, Becca. And I know you get up every morning now and you're doing a scoop of rise, a scoop of AminoCharge. Just tell the audience how it tastes and how it makes you feel getting your day off with that, the water, the AminoCharge, the rise, the 1, 2, 3, the power 3, how that's changed your morning and your life, really.
Well, I've been doing the AminoCharge and the rise consistently for about 3 weeks now in the morning. And I love it because sometimes in the morning, I've gone through, I've been fasting, and I'll have that kind of that ooh, I want to eat something, or that kind of that little bit of a nauseousness. But when I first hit it, be within 30 minutes of rising, I don't get that.
Yep.
And I'm full.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yeah.
Besides, it tastes great.
Yeah.
It does. It really tastes great.
Yeah. That's a great point that I want to point out to people too, is that we knew intermittent fasting was good. So I've always wanted to eat between 12 and 8. And I've been doing that, but it was more willpower, because getting up at 5 a.m. and going till noon without food for me was difficult. I mean, I would take my 90, but I'd never, I was always hungry. But by not taking the AminoCharge, which again is specifically made to not break a fast, just having those amino acids in my system brings tremendous sanity to me, where I'm not starving, or feel funny. Kind of felt funny actually from fasting. People say, "Oh, don't worry about feeling funny. It's just your body burning fat." Well, okay, that's great. I knew it was good for me, and that's why I did it. But it was more through willpower, because I was just like saying, "Okay, Paul, you can make it to noon. You can make it to noon. You can do it." I'd be watching the clock, But now I don't do that with the AminoCharge, because it just makes me feel full, like you said, and it's absolutely fantastic. You can actually also, just to throw it in there, collagen. So we have our collagen peptides. Those, just to set the record straight for everybody out there, are also a substance that does not break a fast. So I know there's arguments out there about that, and we've come to the conclusion now through studies and information and out there, and people testing their own bodies through blood sugar tests, that collagen does not break a fast also.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask.
Cool.
Is about the collagen.
Yeah, so you could put a scoop of blue collagen in with it. Now, the other collagens, we have a couple other formulas that are more for hair, skin, and nails, and more for joints. Those will break a fast. So you cannot use those while you're fasting. And again, my fast is till noon every day, and then after 8 p.m. every day. So 8 to 12 every day, 8 p.m. to 12 the next day. I don't eat anything. But I can have the collagen, I can have the AminoCharge, and you can have your rise and restore.
So you're doing the 16-8
yes
type of intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we have a bunch of questions.
Cool.
So do you have anything else that you want to add to it, or can we just jump right into questions?
I can keep going, but I love I'm here to serve people, and I want to know what questions they have from this point forward, and I can tie more training into their questions once I hear what they are.
Okay, so here we go. One of the questions is, I've been taking the BTT. If the urine is still very yellow, does that mean my body is not absorbing?
Absolutely not. Your body's going to use what it needs, and usually more yellow urine means that your kidneys are actually functioning properly. The key to your body, the way it works, is to take in food, nutrients, and things, and then eliminate waste. And eliminating waste is something that a lot of people's bodies doesn't do well, because again, it's not getting the nutrients it needs, and our kidneys aren't functioning properly. Our gut or digestive system isn't functioning properly. So absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if it was completely clear, that's what I'd be super concerned, because that means there's no nutrients in your body whatsoever, and your kidneys are not functioning properly. And that's the time to hit the panic button.
All right. Next question is, if you go to the gym not long after rising, does this substitute for walking?
So, you know, doing, I do, I know Becca, we just spent some time together at the beach. And as a workout, I do called X3, which is just these bands. So it's a strength training exercise, but it also gets my heart rate up to 135. So I say 135 is a really a ballpark number where your heart rate should be when you're walking. So I don't want people like, you know, walking at like, I know I've walked with people who I feel like is a fast run for me.
Mhm.
But there's also people who are like, oh, I'll get my Starbucks coffee and we'll go for a walk, and they're walking at like a turtle speed. So I'm trying to set some kind of pace for people so they can understand where to be. So you get like an Apple Watch or one of those Fitbits or something else out there that kind of measure your heart rate. So you're at 135. A lot of times, circuit training at the gym will get you to 135. My workout program gets me to 135 when I'm doing it. So you want to be at that consistently. And again, throughout the research that the state showed how really bad high intensity exercise is for people over the long term. Like these people who are like, oh, I'm a runner, you know, I'm a marathon runner and I run 25 miles a day and at this high speed, like, and then we do the research on them and they're the ones dying of heart disease. So there really isn't a correlation between like high intensity exercise and being healthy, which we always kind of assumed there was. Just like there's no correlation between people who have low cholesterol, high cholesterol, and people dying. It's actually people who die from heart disease, just as many, if not more, people have low cholesterol. So they always try to make these connections that aren't true out there. This is just one that has been thrown out there that, you know, the faster you go, the harder you go, the more healthy you're going to be, which is not true. So the 135 is a great pace to go at. But also, during all that research, they found that focusing more on strength training was huge because we're looking, and there's a great show out there. Now you got to take bits and pieces out of it, but there's a thing called Blue Zones. It's on Netflix. I studied it, and it's great information. It's about this guy who goes to these different countries and really interviews people, kind of like Dr. Wallach did, where we're looking for people who are living normally over 100, 120 years old. You know, what are they doing differently? So it's a great documentary, and one of the takeaways is the lower intense exercise. They all walk a ton. They don't have cars. They're just walking a ton. Doing that and some strength trick, you know, keeping because as we get older, one of the women that was really, she was like 127, and she's never sat in a chair in her whole life. So she only sits on the floor. But every time she has to get up, she's using her muscles to get her off the ground. You got to use your leg muscles, and she grab on and use her arms. And like, if you sit on the floor and get up 10, 20 times a day, you're lifting your body weight up, and plus if she ever fell, God forbid, she could get up because her muscles are strong enough to get her up, because that's all she does all day is sit on the floor and get up and do things. So I thought that was super interesting. But things, like the lower intense things, like gardening was a super high popular thing that they did. But it was kind of like, the motion and using your stretching and going over here. And it was getting your heart rate up, it was being in motion. I definitely believe that sitting is the new smoking, that we're way too sedentary all day long. So we got to stay more active and getting the steps in is the key, So on my Apple Watch, I had the stands all day because I got a standing desk, but I was still standing in one place. So I wasn't, just because I was under the impression that, oh, well, I got a standing desk now, I'll be super healthy. Not so much. It still comes down to how many steps you're getting in a day that makes a difference.
Well, I didn't get my 30, but I did get 22 in as far
Okay.
as minutes
Well,
walking
you got 8
before
more
the
to go.
show.
Yeah.
So well, I'm going to do 38. How's that?
Cool.
We're going to be an overachiever today.
Very
But that's not 10,000 steps. So I've got a long ways to go to catch up with you. Now we have lots more questions. You had mentioned the good foods, bad foods list. And the question is, where to go? On the bad foods list, some of those things can be found as an organic option. can we eat those? If they're on the bad foods list on the bad side and we get organic, the person asking the question is it okay to eat those?
Like organic oil, or what are they referring to?
Like organic, uncured bacon or lunch meats
Yeah, I see
or
organic
the
still.
oils.
Yeah, organic still just means no pesticides. Um, so it doesn't mean it's good for you per se, or has any nutrients, or won't do any harm, because we know it's the nitrates and the, we're trying to avoid the inflammation. We're trying to avoid the free radical damage that these foods are doing. Yes, it's great that there's no pesticides in it. You're not ingesting these chemicals, but the food itself still has harmful effects in it being what it is. So, no, that does not, just like organic fruits and vegetables, it does not make them good. It just means that they have no pesticides on them. So.
Right. So it doesn't make them any healthier. It's just removing some of the toxins that we then would be putting into our body, which our body then has to try to combat.
Not
And
try, it
unless
has
we're
to, yeah, it has to.
intentionally,
Yeah. There's no choice. So you're causing huge damage to your body.
absolutely. And then the next question is, what is recommended for a person on the verge of having diabetes, so blood sugar issues, and what should be taken and what foods should be avoided? So you did touch on this. I think it's worth touching on again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that spending tons of time with Dr. Wallach, traveling with him, every night, well, every morning we'd wake up and we'd have eggs together. We had tons of eggs, and then every evening, we do our presentation, and we go get a steak together. And it's just, I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger win 8 Mr. Olympias. He started the whole bodybuilding movement, and it's phenomenal health. And it was all steak and eggs. That's all it is. And today is no different. Those are those 2 foods that I have made a staple in my diet. Are steak and eggs. Now I do drink a lot of the AminoCharge to get the amino acids in my system. Just because I can't, I travel a lot, and I can't always have steak and eggs in front of me. But whenever I can, I eat real food. And it's always, I've done real deep research. I can post some of the places that I'm getting my meat from now, to get it from a place that's really reputable, organic, farm raised, all that good stuff, and getting your fish from the right place. I think, RFK coming in is going to make a huge difference. Is going to see some real improvements in the food quality out there. I'm always optimistic on what he can do, and the direction we're going to be heading in is positive. But I'm not sure it's ever going to reach the level that I'm at now personally, where I'm researching the best of the best places on the planet to get my eggs from, get my meat from, get my poultry from, get my fish from, so that I'm giving my body. If you're interested in those things, I'll get them out to everybody. We can share them. And just from my extensive research and where get the best foods from that. But it's basically sort of what the carnivore diet is. I think it's become the new thing out there. How they call it new, I don't know. It's how every single caveman ever lived. And I haven't seen any pictures of cavemen that were super obese. But they didn't have, what did they do? They walked all day. They hunted. And if they couldn't catch it, they didn't eat it. I mean, there was no bagel machines back then, and there was, you caught it, you ate it, and then you walked again the next day a lot to go catch it again. So it's a pretty good formula for success and weight loss, is walk all day and then catch something and then eat it at night. Yeah. That's my philosophy.
Absolutely. And there weren't any New York pretzels either.
No, there was no pretzels. There was no potato chips, none of that stuff.
So, okay. So the next question has to do with AminoCharge versus HGH. So both of them have amino acids. Can you do a quick little comparison for us?
Yeah. So the HGH, I think it has all 12. I'm not 100% sure, but it's got the key ones, especially arginine, you need before you go to sleep. and has the ones that will stimulate your pituitary gland to produce more human growth hormone. Obviously, since we're taking 6 pills, it's not a super high dose. Taking a scoop of this AminoCharge in the morning is a mega high dose of all 12 essential fat amino acids, excuse me, for our body's needs. So it is really powerful. You're not going to necessarily build, maintain, and repair muscle if you just took HGH capsules all day long. But they do the trick right before you go to bed. They produce the effect you need. They give you the amino acids your body needs right before bed. And, I love the Restore because we're giving an extra shot of minerals to our bodies and vitamins and the other 90 before bed. So it just makes sense to take the HGH capsules because that's going to give you the amino acids that you need before you go to bed. But once you wake up in the morning and throughout the day, I don't recommend taking the HGH capsules throughout the day. They only really work at night. It's the AminoCharge that has the high mega doses of the amino acids in them that will really make a difference in how you look and feel, and your whole physique will change by using that product.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And next, we're going to go to a live question here and from our studio audience, who is, this gentleman is also a student of the Institute of Holistic Health. Bill, go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Paul today?
Thank you, Paul. What would you suggest to our audience for calcium?
Great question. So I'm a huge proponent of liquids or powders because those are the two things that get absorbed into our bodies the fastest. So there's a liquid calcium that's OsteoFX that is absolutely phenomenal. We have a liquid calcium called, now that is that's low carb, which is great. There's another if you're not as worried about carbohydrates or losing weight, there's a liquid calcium called Cal Toddy, which is phenomenal. A lot of people love that who are not looking to lose weight. And Becca, you mentioned a new one that escapes my mind at the moment.
OsteoProCare.
OsteoProCare. I know I just ordered a bottle. I didn't get it yet. I have not tried it, but Becca, I know you rave about it. It's low carbohydrate, liquid, tastes great, great absorbability. So any one of those three are phenomenal. It just depends on, we're on a weight loss kind of presentation today. So I would steer towards either the OsteoFX or the
OsteoProCare.
OsteoProCare. Thank you. Those two products are lower in carbohydrates and won't affect your blood sugar levels. Because it is. Yeah, have you been taking the OsteoProCare before bed, Becca, or when are you taking it?
I just take it during the day.
Okay.
I don't have a set time that I take it. It's just when my body pulls me towards taking it.
Now, I think the magnesium in there was about 300 milligrams, was it?
It's either 3 or 6.
Okay.
100.
Yeah. Either way, I mean,
300.
300.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ruth Ellen's telling me 300.
Okay, so that's a product like that. I love taking my calcium before bed because of the extra magnesium. Now, there's 200 milligrams of magnesium in the Restore, which is great. But I don't think 200 is enough for most people. So I love the idea of taking the Restore and some liquid calcium at night. I've actually been mixing the two together. Tastes really good, and I'm going to do that with the OsteoProCare. I've not tried that yet, but I'm going to mix my OsteoProCare with Restore and see how that tastes.
I'm going to try that too because that actually sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
Really good. All right. Well, we've got one more hand up. Let's try to get another question. And Jill has had some great questions. Many of the questions I've already asked, but Jill, go ahead. And what is your additional question, my dear?
Yes, thank you for getting those questions answered. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
So I'm asking on the perspective of getting people on like a complete program. Everything that you've said is fantastic, but I have some people that have been doing the Keto 90 Kickstart. I have some new people that want to lose weight, and I can't just tell them what we're doing at the beginning and the end of the day. We need some details as to what you're recommending, what's worked for you to get down to that 10% body weight. And yes, we're not promising that to other people, especially women, but, you know, what are they doing in that window from, you said you eat like noon to 7?
Yeah, great question. So with the Keto 90 Kickstart, so the keto program that was always low carbohydrates, so we haven't swayed from that at
Right,
all.
correct.
The key is the always $1 million question is, what is the ratio between the three things? So there's only carbs, proteins, or fat. It's only three things you can eat. So what does the ratio need to be between those three things? And what we found is that we were making a bigger deal, in my opinion, and I always would question this part, but I could never get a straight answer from anybody in the keto, market or industry or expert to tell me why we're keeping the protein so low. The answer would be to make sure we keep insulin levels low. And I've done blood work myself. I've had other people do blood work on themselves. I've had people wear the thing on their arm to measure their blood sugar level throughout the day. And again, I guess if you're using the wrong protein powder, like you're using more of a meal replacement powder, you're going to get the insulin spike for sure. But I can tell you with the longevity powders, especially the AminoCharge, there is no insulin effect whatsoever. I mean, zero. So now we can not worry about keeping the protein grams or percentage at 25%, which to me didn't protect the muscle enough. We're not focusing enough on those 12 amino acids. We're not getting enough of those. And we're doing this 75% fat, never sat with me really well. It worked great for me. I would have these fat bombs and these, extra butter on things and stuff, and so I never felt bad from it or anything, but what I did feel bad from was not enough protein. I felt like I just thrive off of steak and eggs. So the only adjustment we've done is lowering the fat intake a little bit and increasing the protein intake to get to that. Let's just say we decide to do 1,200 calories for a woman. So we're looking to keep the carbs under 20 still grams. We're looking to get the protein grams around 160. Seems to be a number that works really well for most people. And forgive me about the math on the fat grams, but I think it works out to be 60. So if you do 60 grams of fat, 160 grams of protein, and 20 grams of carbs, I think that's 1,200 calories. I'll do the math on that if I'm wrong. But you want to get the math to be there, and you want to spread that out as much as you can throughout the day. So, it's just like the gasoline analogy. If we're going to drive from New York City to San Diego, we can't just put 160 gallons of gas in our tank and just drive the whole way. It doesn't work that way. Our tank can only hold so much, like 16 gallons or 20 gallons, whatever it is. So the same thing works with our bodies. We just can't eat 160 grams of protein in the morning and expect that, well, we're good for the day now. So I'm taking, 30, 40, 50 you can do. Your body probably can absorb up to 50. Anything over that, you're not going to be able to absorb it all. So the AminoCharge is great. It's 30 grams of protein. So you do that, 2-3 times a day, work some eggs in, work some steak in. And the key is to get to that 160 mark of protein intake. And you're going to get the fat in automatically. Because, and I wouldn't, get bent out of shape. Like, I got to make sure my steak is super lean, or I got to make sure these eggs, I don't, what about the yolk? Like, just eat the eggs. Okay. I promise you that when you get the 160 grams of protein in, whatever your fat grams were, it doesn't really matter a whole lot in the whole scheme of things. Fat is not going to make you fat again. It's going to make you feel full, and you need that protein, that fat to stay full. The key is that your insulin levels are low, and you'll be burning body fat like crazy.
So you're still recommending a protein shake once a day, or
I'll
no?
do 2 or 3 a day now.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to find out. 2 or 3, and then some steak and eggs is what you're saying. Plus,
that's my basic diet. Yeah, but you can mix some chicken in and some seafood. Some fish and stuff. So
okay,
but it's all protein.
And what about the first week of what we've done in the past of trying
that 3-day shake thing is still I mean, we cannot believe ourselves the results we got from that and continue.
I
to
know,
get.
but we don't have a keto shake anymore. So
Yeah, so we use the AminoCharge instead.
the AminoCharge Plus, the shake, the one that has the protein, there's another version of AminoCharge.
There's
It's a
different
meal,
versions.
yes, there's a meal replacement AminoCharge one. Becca probably knows the name.
It's called Be Full AminoCharge, but when you take the AminoCharge itself and mix in the rise, you're actually getting more nutrition in these two products than you would be if you were doing an actual meal replacement shake without getting that spike protein, the rise in your blood sugar.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that counts as one, and then you're gonna say in the first week, do 2 more shakes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, per day. Yeah.
Okay,
Now the last shake can be like the Restore and the AminoCharge.
right, okay.
So
I also like I really like our new coffee in, well, I like it in hot chocolate, but we don't have the keto hot chocolate anymore, but I also like it in the TMR meal replacement shake. So there's no reason we couldn't have that be one of them, right?
yeah, the carb is a little too high, especially in the kickstart for the TMR. The plant-based though product protein from them does not have any carbs that I'm aware of.
So it would have to be the fit shake is what you're saying.
The Fit Shake or the plant-based shake from.
Okay. All right.
But
So
the
I need to-
TMR is a total meal replacement, which I know has carbs in it.
It does. It's kind of low, but it's not low enough for keto, really.
But their plant-based shake is.
Okay, thank you. I already had that once, and I just mentioning it so it doesn't happen to anyone else. I just put 2 scoops in because TMR is always 2 scoops, and the scoop is a different size, and it was awful because
Yeah.
I'd put double the amount of protein shake in my shake.
Right.
It's a
Yeah,
bigger
so-
scoop, but it's just one.
So the plant-based shake from the Stay Natural line only has 4 net carbs in it, and
Yeah,
that
that's good.
is with 20 grams of protein. And one thing that I wanted to look at, because I love putting the collagen creamer into my
Shakes.
Casa de Vida coffee,
Yep.
which is was it Cup of Life?
Yep.
And in that, it has additional 7 grams of protein. There is 1 net carb of carbohydrates, but you're getting 7,500 milligrams of the collagen peptides plus some MCT of 4,500 milligrams. And because of the dietary fiber, that's what brings down that net carbohydrate. So I love putting that into my coffee as well. So there's lots of things that we can do, staying within the Longevity Trusted family of products to make a fabulous day of eating and nutrition.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, we're 7 minutes over, Paul, and I promised that I would be sticking more to the time so that we could put this as a syndicated show on radio. And I failed that promise, but I think there was a lot of great information, folks, here that you can implement into your life to help you reach that optimal weight, healthy weight, not a skinny fat person. Okay. We want to make sure that we're maintaining our muscle, that we're giving the body what it absolutely needs, not just to lose weight, but to be able to thrive. Go from barely surviving, overweight, feeling to thriving at a healthy weight with enough strength to be able to pull ourselves up off the floor. That's something a lot of people don't want to hit the floor because they don't have that strength to get themselves up. Paul, thank you so very much for coming on with us. Always appreciate you and the message that you bring today as we're focusing on the 30-30-30. Again, within 30 minutes, you're getting 30 grams of good, clean protein and 30 minutes of walking. I'm going to be doing better at that. Folks, if you want to join us and be part of this challenge, be part of my support group, my accountability partners, please send us an email at info@dailywithdoc.com or becca@dailywithdoc.com and say, hey, I want to be part of your accountability. Let's do this together, as I am going to get rid of that last amount of weight that has been holding on to, because I need to get more active. So folks, let's get active together. And if I could get the co-hosts up on the screen, we're going to do this program without an amazing team, as we are, again, working together to bring this program to you. Again, we are also a resource for an amazing community. So get back with the person who shared this program with you. All right. We can be accountability partners, but when it comes to getting the nutrition that you need and having the questions that you have and getting those answers, the person that referred you to this program is your primary contact. So remember their name. Don't just remember their name. Get back with them right now. Send them a text message. Say, thank you for sharing this information with me. I want to get started. And they'll get back with you and help you get started. Now, if there is no one to thank, we do have a call team standing by waiting for your calls. They can be reached at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. And that is for people who are not already on the longevity products and are not working with somebody already. All right. So Paul, again, I know you've got a training call coming up for the Certified Holistic Health Coach course program. So folks, if you want to be part of our family of certified holistic health coaches, you can get more information by going to coach.dailywithdoc.com. Again, that's coach, COACH.dailywithdoc.com. And we are going to be, we have, for the most part, we're pretty consistent at having Monday coaches calls where we get together and share do just a quick little plug, if you would, for the coaching program.
Yeah, especially now with RFK coming in, we're seeing, a big exposure of the bad things that are going on in this industry. Dr. Wallach's always come off with dead doctors don't lie. And, people have to go someplace to get their information that they can trust, and doctors are not slowly but surely, but rapidly losing their accountability, and their high state, the how everyone holds them up to this level of God, in this country. And they're seeing that they don't even know what they're talking about. So who do you go to for your information now? So we are dedicated to spread Dr. Wallach's message and create an army of people that know what he knows and how to take care of your human body and be truly healthy. So we just take everything that Dr. Wallach knows, turns into a course, and we teach it. And then we hold ongoing classes every Monday. And people come and they have tons of clients and new coaches on their team. And we just help people, create that holistic, with a W in it, way of life. And holistic means taking the whole life into consideration, not just one part or this other part, but the whole thing. The whole thing matters. And that's why Dr. Wallach built this whole thing, so that we can take care of every area of life for people, not just one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you so much, Paul, for doing that. And as the Director of Student Services, I am that because I believe in it so much. I wouldn't do something that I don't believe in. So thank you for giving me one more thing to believe in, Paul. As it has helped me, it has helped the people that you see on this screen, as each and every one of them are also a certified holistic health coach in helping us spread the message. Folks, thank you again so much for joining us and investing this time into yourself, your own health. And for those of you who are coaches, information that you can share with others. And that's what this program is all about, is having information that you can be confident in sharing with others, because they also are looking for something that works. My name is Becca Dukes. On the screen with me right now, I have Albert joining us from South Africa, helping to let people in. I have Sherry, who is joining us from Texas. As you can see, she has multiple certifications on the wall behind her. One of them is that of being a certified holistic health coach. She's helping as part of our tech team, getting the program out to the different platforms. I have Marilyn, who, if you're not here live with us, folks, and you don't have that chat room open, you are missing what her hard work and skill has brought to us. And that is taking the information that is shared on the program. And folks, I don't know anybody that can take notes as fast as Dr. Wallach speaks, or Paul, or myself, but Marilyn can. So she's putting that into the notes. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for doing that. We have Ruth Ellen, who is my executive production manager, helping to keep us all organized and on task as we are she is putting the stream together now and getting it pushed out to the different platforms. And the man with his hand up, who is helping me not forget anything, he is the one that is also responsible as our director of marketing, digital marketing, manager of digital marketing. That's it, manager of digital marketing. And getting all of these different platforms and apps with accounts so that we can get the information out to them and meeting you where you're at. And that is AJ. AJ, what am I forgetting?
So to be a part of the coaching program, you certainly want to go to coach.dailywithdoc.com and you will find information about the coaching program. But if you want a discount on the coaching program, you want to call us, and we have a code and we have a way that you could even save 50% on the coaching program. So call us at 855-949-3377. And if you want to become a coach, just like Paul said, the time is changing. Things are changing. You want to be a coach now to help your family and give them that right information. So call us 855-949-3377, and we will give you a discount code to save on your coaching program.
Thank you for that. And this program is not only Make America Healthy Again, it is Make the World Healthy approved. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Paul. Have a fabulous day. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well, as we are here for you Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. We are taking Thanksgiving off, and Christmas off, and New Year's Day off. So we're going to allow you all to not feel guilty and spend time with your families. Or is that me? Not feel guilty and spend time with my family. Whatever it is. Have a fabulous day. If it's not already, make it that way. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health.